Those are some basics on how to get to the debugger tools and how to use them to look at values. Next, let's see how the debugger tools fit into our high-level strategy about how we are building mental models and how it compares to console log. So for a given problem, we want to be able to evaluate which one of these tools we would want to use over the other. What are the circumstances when we would choose to use console log versus debugger? So console log has some drawbacks. Like I mentioned before, you only see the data values after the whole thing is done running. We may have too many values, so if something is happening in a loop and one of the values is off, if you have 52 console logs, it's going to be really difficult to find the specific point where something is going wrong. You may not know under what conditions you need to console log something, or you may not know exactly where something is happening. So console log may not be able to tell you that information. You always want to format your console logs. They're only useful if you understand the context in which you're outputting a value. So that takes extra time. You need to be really careful about the kind of formatting you give, that it's accurate, because an inaccurately formatted console log is going to be unhelpful, or actually is going to actively work against you. And then you don't get complete knowledge, so you can't know or console log every value. It's just not possible, and you don't have complete access to all the values that are happening at that one point in the program. The advantages of console log are that you can give formatting to the output. So really good formatting will help you see what's happening inside the program, and you get to see all the output at once. So it gives you a complete and clear picture of everything that's going on for that specific value. And so this is really your default choice when you're trying to look at what's happening in your program, unless you have a really specific idea of where you want to look, and it's hard to get to. So when you do have a good idea of where to look, then debugger is great because it's very granular. You have complete control, you have complete vision into that specific part of the program. And also you can trace how you got to that point. When your program is very complicated and you're able to split things into different functions, then tracing how you got to that point in your code, which functions call which functions, can be very important. And then also when you really have no idea in what portion of the program things are happening, then you just get more complete information. So you don't need to necessarily know exactly where to look. It could just be that you want to go in and investigate a set of values. You may have also had an intuition that when you go into the debugger, it's quite a lot of work to look around and manage all the breakpoints. So if you're trying to look at a really large set of values and you're trying to get a big picture kind of information, then it could just be that it's too unwieldy to go into the debugger and try to find that information. If your program is doing a lot of things and you need to look at all of those values, you just might be pressing the play button too many times, or writing in the console too many times, and console log might be more efficient for you to get that overall picture. Again, the overall point here is that all of these things are tools to help you understand what's actually happening inside your code. And your goal should be to be able to build that complete understanding of what the values are at each step.